Oh, it's the internet. You can literally behead someone.
Yeah, who is it? So many choices.
It's called Heads Are Gonna Roll.
Bringing it back. Now, this is definitely the biggest lineup we've had on Punks on Pizza. This is fucking massive. We're going to try and cover it all. We're going to start from the beginning, though. This is how I always try to do it. Against doctor's orders, wiping back to front. Forming in 2000, decades after what many would consider the Rockabilly boom. What was the initial reception, and what do you feel the Rockabilly scene was then, and how it's changed in the past quarter decade?
Oh, well, I don't know. That's quite a bit, I guess.
Quarter decade. I'm getting a throw for this. Can't imagine how you feel.
Decade, yeah.
Yo, how's it changed in the last quarter century?
Quarter century. Well, okay, so
fuck it up somewhere.
Well, right from the start, let's do it.
So, okay, Young's gonna fuck this up.
I know. Well, when I was starting it, like I guess I was about 21, and I was in the punk scene, and there was all kinds of stuff, and especially in Edmonton at the time, there was all different kinds of stuff going on in the punk scene, different types of music, different types of genres. And I really just got into rockabilly. I got into it, but there wasn't a lot of it going on. Like there was no rockabilly bands happening in Edmonton. I think there was one about to start called the Crazy Eights at that time, which was about to start in the late '90s. And I was just getting into it, but it took me. I just started listening to like Chuck Berry and old Elvis and stuff like that, and I didn't really find anything for like about a year or two. I was just listening to that. And then it took me a little while, and then I found like Reverend Horton Demented Argo and some of the Psychobilly stuff, and kind of went from there. So in Edmonton, anyway, and at that time, there really wasn't a lot of rockabilly going on at all. But I loved the music, so I wanted to play it. I wanted to start a band doing rockabilly stuff.
Good answer. Good answer.
Is it on the board?
Show me.
We've surveyed 100 people, and none of them said that.
And determined that. Have you noticed any major shifts?
Well, there was. It was actually kind of interesting as the band got going. Like as we started in the early like 2000, 2001, there was a big, huge kind of boom, like rockabilly. Like more psychobilly actually than rockabilly, but it was kind of happening in California, and then the psychobilly scene in Europe. A lot of bands like Mad Sin, Necromantics, all those bands. A lot of them moved to California, and then there was a big scene happening there, and it boomed. Then everybody seemed to be into it for like the early 2000s till like about 2006, 7, 8. There was kind of it was kind of like a wave. It kind of went up like this, and it got more popular, and then kind of died down a little bit, and then in a quarter century, I've seen it kind of go up and down a little bit, right? But it's never been quite back to what it was then, and like. About 2006, 7, it was really popular kind of worldwide, but it's it kind of goes up and down depending where you are, right?
We are going to come back to the European response later. That's in the fucking notes. But I was wondering, being from the neighboring province of Alberta, you guys we touched on this a little before the interview. That happens. You guys don't come out to the island very much, and I was wondering, what was your reception? What's been your experience with the island?
Well, every time I played here, it's been good. Like the last time we played Victoria, it was sold out. It'll be Zach and Johnny were on that tour, and we did. It was really good. We played here at the Waverly, and that was 2016. But we didn't really have much luck getting gigs out here. After because we didn't work with that same promoter again, and. It kind of goes that way. I mean, sometimes you have a good thing going with certain promoters, and then that dies off, and then you can't find gigs in the same town with a different promoter, and it doesn't work out. And like I mentioned earlier, like the cost of getting to the island is expensive. It's expensive to come out here, and if you're just coming out for one gig, that's not gonna make you any money. There's no really reason to do it, right? And the population here isn't massive, so it's a little bit different now. Like we've got a good gig here at the Waverly, we've got a good one in Tofino tomorrow, so it made sense for us to come out. But we couldn't really, we actually had something booked in Victoria, but it fell through. So we were supposed to be doing 3 on the island, right? And that was kind of the plan, but it didn't really work out. In Victoria, it kind of fell through, so that's too bad. But the shows on the island have always been awesome. The response has been great. Like the crowd's been pretty killer. Going
back to Europe and talking about that, I was wondering what what your initial response was going over there, and what you think about how Gibson, they have Psychobilly Fest, and I mean, when I think of Top Psych, I think of King Kurt, and I think of Guana Bats, and all bands that kind of stem from the Cramps, which are American, but over there. What do you think of this American art form, if you will, being way more appreciated by Europe, and did you experience that firsthand?
The Psychobilly meet is the perfect example of something that could never exist in North America. You know, you've got a festival that's for Rockabilly and Psychobilly that has 10,000 people at it over the weekend.
Over the weekend,
and that kind of niche community, for lack of a better word, that following would never support the Psychobilly meet in Canada.
Yeah, the Psychobilly meeting in Spain, like it's Psychobilly's from all over the world. All over the world go there, and it's on the beach, and it's all the biggest bands. We played it in, was it 2018? I think we played it, and it's amazing, and it is. And people go there year after year after year, and you know the bands go there and they play, and there's thousands of people, and it's like and it's a culture, right? There's a culture. It's like this is who we are. This is what we do. This is our thing, right?
It's a culture, but they can also move a lot cheaper. They can fly from a major city center to another major city for like 40 bucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, so they do it year after year, right? And when we went, you know, and it's kind of one of those things where they have a really die-hard thing. Like we're going to support this. We're going to go and do it, and we're going to do it year after year. And like Mike was saying, that would be hard to happen. It couldn't happen here in North America, I don't think. I mean, it kind of does with Viva Las Vegas, Rockabilly Fest, and things like there are things like that. But like but for Psychobilly specifically, it's a little bit more difficult here, and especially in Canada. In Canada, like there's not a lot of support for Psychobilly. If you're not the Necromantics, like there's not going to be that much support for what you're doing, right?
You tour with bands who are certainly not in the Psychobilly Rockabilly genre, right? When I first saw you guys, you were with DOA, and now Anti-Queens is opening, who are both far from Rockabilly. I was wondering, who are some of the modern day contributors to the Rockabilly genre that you hold in high regard?
Well, Gutter Demons for sure. Yeah, Gutter Demons, like they were, Montreal. Montreal. They're contemporaries of ours. They're, Johnny Toxic's a good friend of mine. They're great.
I'd say Brains are up there.
The Brains are up there. Yeah. There's a bunch of bands like they helped out in Hepcats. They're not together anymore, but they were killer Rockabilly band. There's some good ones. Like from overseas. Sons from Edmonton.
Bullet.
Yeah. But Sir Psycho and his Monsters from Germany. They're pretty killer. Tiger Army, some of those bands from California. But there's
Paul.
What's that? Paul Pagat. Yeah, Paul Pagat from Vancouver. Cousin Harley from Vancouver. I mean, they're an incredible band, right? Paul Pagat's one of the best guitar players around, and he's unreal player, right?
You ever cross paths with Bloodshot Bill?
Yeah, absolutely. I've played with Bloodshot Bill many times over the years. The first time we toured out east, we played Bloodshot Bill open for us at the Bullseye Sex Club. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, it was good.
Amazable.
Yeah, it's good.
Out of all of Canada, which you've had some extensive experience touring at this point, I was wondering if there were any kind of quirks that you could expect that are exclusive to that province.
Which province? Whichever province.
Yeah.
Well, in Ontario, you got to watch for the OPP. Good time. You have to. That's one of the things. You got to make sure. You got to make sure you're not speeding too much because they'll pull you over, man. They'll fucking pull you over anytime they get a chance.
This isn't music related. Well, I guess if we're gonna go down that road, we could talk about a lot of things. But just talking about Ontario, you want to grab a case of beer from the liquor store in Ontario by foot?
Yeah.
It's a good fucking lot.
Yeah, you gotta do it before 5 p.m.
I don't know how people live there.
Yeah. The LCBO. That's another issue out there. The LCBO.
The LICBO.
Yeah.
Now, in your years of touring, we've had the honor, great privilege of playing with some real Canadian legends on the way of serving yourselves as a Canadian staple within the Canadian genre. Are any who are those bands that kind of stand out off the top of your head?
Well, DOA definitely, like that tour with DOA was really, really awesome. That was a great thing for us and got us in front of a bigger crowd. Johnny and I went on tour with SNSU as road crew for them. That was a big thing because we got to know those guys.
We got to say Real Mackenzie's Planet Smashers.
Yeah, Real Mackenzie's Planet Smashers. Real Mackenzie's was a big one too, because we did cross Canada with them, and that was a huge tour for us. And
many times.
And so yeah, the Real Mackenzie's was a real big one for us. That was great. It got us in front of a lot of people that we wouldn't have been in front of. So that was a huge one. Planet Smashers, a lot of the Stomp bands, like touring with the Smashers in Quebec got us in front of a lot of people, and then also bringing us over to Europe that way. It was pretty awesome.
Is there anyone left that's on the list to target down that you want to play with?
Specifically Canadian.
Yeah, but we can stretch it.
I guess I'd like to play saxophone in a really good band one day. Just one day.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've done a lot. I think as things come, it's like, oh, cool, that would be awesome to do. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I think just, more...
we're supposed to do Dead Kennedys in Europe.
We're supposed to open for Dead Kennedys we were supposed to tour with Dead Kennedys in Europe, and that didn't happen, but that would have been pretty awesome. So that was a big one that I regret not happening. That would have been killer. Dead Kennedys would have been something else.
This is the last question I ask everybody, and maybe there's a few different answers that we can go down the line, as it's been pretty heavy from one angle on the answers. All right, this is how I end every podcast. What was your worst venue bathroom experience while touring?
Call the office in London.
Is that me?
And that's it. We don't get any details.
No, that's it. Next.
Oh man, just some of the like actual bathroom, because like some of those festival porta potties are just like airdrop only after a certain hour, and it's terrifying. Like that's probably like always the worst.
Yeah.
Oh. I'd like to pass, but I have to say, Voofs in Montreal during Kooza Fest.
It was literally
brimming.
Yeah.
It was brimming. Kooza Fest.
Can I throw you under the bus here, Zach?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. My worst bathroom experience on tour was when Zach pissed his pants and then didn't tell me, and I picked him up over my shoulders and got his piss all over me.
You're going to have to be way more specific.
Potentially being vague right now?
Yeah. Which one?
Which one?
Yeah. It's not always a venue experience, but sometimes when we got to share one hotel room after a long drive and everyone races to go for a shit.
Yeah.
You got to go to the front desk and beg for a plunger or like try to go for a nap.
We had a tour plunger for a while.
Yeah,
we had a tour plunger
We
we
should
brought.
still have one.
We still
After Zach's turn, there's a special mention we should.
Yeah. What's yours, Zach?
Yeah, I probably also shit myself on stage, which I had to borrow the bass player at the time's pants, and he's way bigger than me, so I had to walk around these parachute pants for like a week. Pretty good.
Special bathroom mention would be the vat in Red Deer.
Wrong.
And we're sorry about this a little. We showed up for sound check, and the bar wasn't even open yet. There was just one worker, and she was opening up the bar and cleaning things up. And we had been drinking for a while and on tour for a few days. And we filled the bathroom, the urinals and stuff, with puke before any patrons had even gotten inside.
Just destroyed the
And
bathroom.
she went in there
Like end of the
and
night
was like,
destroyed.
"What the fuck? Who the fuck did that?" And she came out and
We were the only ones there.
we didn't do it.
I didn't know about that. Oh my
There was
God.
nobody else in the bar.
Well,
All right, that was Raygun Cowboys. I hope the rest of the tour goes smoothly.
thank you.
Thank you for
Cheers.
joining today.
Fonks on pizza.
Thank you, buddy.
Get you off camera and you can say all the dirty words. you
One
like.
more, actually.
Yeah, one more. That one's still going.
Cumberland.